Holy catfish! It's the aquaponics lady. Rightio, how do we build a radial flow filter? Now, remember, this is the first step in a filtration system, so it's the mechanical filtration, removing the solid waste from the aquaponics system. You can do it as a radial flow filter or a solid separator. I'm a huge fan of the solid separators, but a lot of people prefer a radial flow filter. It does slow your water down a lot more, this process, and it is a bit more plumbing, but it's still very easy to do. So this is just a 50 litre drum. Depending on the size of your aquaponics system, you can do it in a 20 litre pail, or for those people who have the bigger systems, in the 200 litre drums, or even in a larger IBC. Okay, it depends on the size of your system. But what you're wanting to have is you're wanting to have the pipe that comes from the fish tank, so from your solid lift outlet, or from however it is your solid waste is removed from your fish tank, into this, and then you need to have a pipe going out. And we have a little bit of piping in between. So this has already been pre-cut, but a little bit of imagination. This is just literally to show you with a hole saw. Obviously work out the right heights for how you need it to be for your system for the right flow level, because if you get that wrong, that's going to mess up, but it's kind of different for everyone's system. This is literally just showing you how to build this component. The hole saw, creating the hole, and your sweep. I love how easy those are. Uni-seals are one of the most common things that people within aquaponics use. They're great because they can be reused. They're usually easy to do. You have to make sure that the hole that you drill is the right size. See, that pushed in way too easy. That is not the right size. And incidentally, if I was using this for my actual system and I had cut the hole, a whole heap of aquarium grade silicone all around here and then all around the outside. But that is an absolute last resort. But if you do the hole too big, you do the hole too big. Usually when you're buying them, they will tell you what size to drill, what size hole saw to use, and often on the actual uni-seal, these are a bit old, but usually they do tell you the size to drill. So let's just imagine for the moment, this is the right size, and we've pushed in our uni-seal. Now, we don't want to be cutting any part in the inside of our uni-seal. So we do want to push this in, and it will get more and more tricky depending on how tight. If this was a tight fit, then that would be really hard to push in. Right now it's actually very easy to push in. So having a look on this side, watch, this one moves, bad, 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 bad. This one does not move, good. It was an absolute pain in the tail to get it in. And you had to use a little bit of petroleum jelly to push it in. And the problem is the petroleum jelly can affect the quality and the lifespan of your uni-seal, so it's not ideal. Some people do use a little bit of, just a tiny smidgen of dish soap around the pipe to push it in. Again, not ideal, but if you've got to get it in, you've got to get it in, like, let's put it this way. But this is a perfect solid fit. There is no silicone on this, and we want it to be that tight. We want it to be that it's hard to move that pipe in any way. So what we're looking at now, this is the pipe that comes from your fish tank. So from your solid lift outlet, from your, however your piping is to get solid waste out of your fish tank, it's coming in here, okay? Now the plumbing, this is the out pipe, and we'll just pop this on as the easiest part now. To have the, putting that around so you can see it, the 90-degree bend there, and we would want, that's about, it's about a centimetre too high, that pipe. It's just a piece of pipe that I found on the ground. You're wanting to work out the level, so if you're, just say hypothetically where this level is here, if that is the level of where that is coming out, you want to make sure that the water level for your fish tank is at that same level. Actually, you want the fish tank to be just a little bit above it, so that'll push the water through consistently. This is a tad higher than it should be, but this is a demonstration. So that is the outlet into your grow bed, into your sump, wherever you're popping it. Now, this is I'm using 32mm piping. Ideally, this would be this is a 90-degree bend. Ideally, you would want to be using two 45-degree bends, and you're wanting it to be into the center. I'm going to show you now. We want this to be in the center of the drum, and there's a reason for that. And you'll notice that we're going upright, and we are adding this pipe. And again, that pipe is a tiny bit high, but there's a very specific reason. We're going to have our lid on now. Okay, our lid has extra bits dangling. Now this is a 90-degree pipe, 90mm pipe, and we've got some marine grade screws here, all at the same level. We have a hole on our lid. The screws hold this in place, and this sits over that piping on the inside. So let's turn it on the angle, and you can see that that's in the middle. So the water comes up, it goes up into this pipe. Wrong angles here. Now, we can see this piping in the middle, right? Let me hold that there, rub that here. So you can see the piping in the middle. The solid waste will actually come up through this middle pipe, the one that I'm jiggling here, jiggling. It will come up there, but because this pipe is in the way, it then pushes all of the solid waste, and the water gets pushed down that pipe and down towards the ground. So that is, it does two things here. One, it slows the speed of your water, and also it then also is directing the solid waste down to the bottom. Then, using this outlet pipe here, it is then collecting any of that water that no longer has solid waste and pushing it out into your grow bed or your sump or wherever you're wanting it to go. So this is the main principle of a radial flow filter. It slows your water down, and it pushes up all of the solid waste into this 90mm pipe, and that then drops down. All the solid waste then starts to drop down. Now what this drum does not have is a valve anywhere to be able to release solid waste. This is a demonstration drum, and I also use it to check my holes when I want to make sure I'm doing the right sizing of things. But this is just purely an example, but you need to have some way of removing the solid waste from the bottom here. Whether it's a valve down the bottom that you open and let out every week, or whether you do like I do with a manual vacuum, that's another option. I do that because I keep kicking the valves. Radial flow filters are very common in aquaponics. They're not my favourite, I'll be honest. The piping and the plumbing, it's very simple. Now this has been set up with for a 50-litre drum, and using the plumbing and piping that I have. If you're going to be doing this with a 200-litre drum, you might be considering, rather than using the 32mm here, you might be using 50mm. It's cheaper as well. And for this pipe, instead of the 90mm, which is what I had hanging about, I'll just say you could cut off a bit there, you might choose to use 150mm. You want to make sure that it's sitting on here and it comes down at least 2/3 of the way down this pipe. So you want that to happen. The reason we've got the marine grade bolts on top is to hold it in place on your lid. If you are using something, you know, if you've cut the top of it off, you can always flip the lid over and pop it in. That's what a lot of people will do with a bigger drum. Many ways, many videos showing you how to do it. But here's the thing, it slows your water down. Some people say that's a good thing in aquaponics. I'm not quite on that same line. If you're wanting to run the water through your grow bed and through your system once per hour, Radial Flow Filter will definitely do that. More than that, your solid separator works a bit better. It doesn't slow the water down. But in not slowing the water down, you do have solid particles still popping through, and that's going to happen no matter which one you use. But the Radial Flow Filter, because it slows the water down, it does give more chance for that solid waste to settle down the bottom. So, personal choice. You have the water coming in from your fish tank, comes up. You have your piping up the top to make sure that it is able to spill up and over on either side and then drain back down. We have our outlet pipe up here to catch all of that clean water and take it out into our grow bed. And this is the pipe, this, in my case, 90mm pipe, the one that hangs up here. This is the one that just slows your water down completely. Really cool. So yeah, that's how you would build a Radial Flow Filter. You just need to work out the size of your system and how much water you're wanting to go, and make sure you've got everything at the right levels, and you're sweet to go. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, make sure you do leave them below, and hit that subscribe button so you can find out when I've got more videos being posted. And don't forget to follow me on other social media, because I do different lives on different social media on different days. So, again, thank you for watching. I really value and appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed it.